Persian gents, welcome to UX, and this is why the US Navy rushed USS Abraham Lincoln to the Persian Gulf. This is my channel Navy Decoded. I watched a video about, I think it was sonic weapons. Awesome video. This is, it has this channel has 20,000 subscribers, which is weird to me. This channel has multiple videos, which is like in hundreds of thousands of views. Why are not people subscribing? This is a really good channel. This is literally latest video. And this is about an aircraft carrier that they are moving. Right, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's an aircraft carrier. They're moving to, obviously, Gulf, Persian Gulf, basically because of Iran. People told me that there is an aircraft carrier on the way to Iran, which is probably this one, which is why US didn't do anything in Iran, because they didn't have an aircraft carrier there. Is US going to do anything now after everything died down? Who knows? Maybe there is a movement there. Maybe it's more coordinated. Maybe even in Iran, the people who are protesting, there is some kind of a structure there. And structure has been told the US is on the way and for now lay low. Who knows? With CIA, anything can happen. So this is going to be interesting. Let's watch one.
2026, South China Sea. USS Abraham Lincoln conducting live fire exercises. Phalanx Sea Whiz systems hammering targets. Standard operations. Another day in the Pacific. Then, the secure line from Compact Fleet rings on the bridge. New orders. New mission. New theater. Pack up. Move out. Sprint to the Persian Gulf. Not next week. Now. Here's what makes that call critical. The Navy operates 11 aircraft carriers. But looking at the map, the Pentagon realized they were running out of options. USS George Washington is in Yokosuka, Japan. She is nearly 3,000 miles to the north, too far away to respond in time. USS Theodore
Wait a minute. That is in the ass of China, literally near China, near Japan, in China Sea or Japan Sea, whatever they call it. Oh my God, how is China's okay with that? Wouldn't China be like, why is your aircraft carrier here or some shit like that? They're constantly like, bullying Philippines and everything. But that is USS George Washington, and they're like, all right. I'm guessing it's there because of Taiwan. But isn't that too far away for Taiwan? Why is it there? Why does it have to be near Japan? I don't get it. But yeah, there is USS 11, I thought it was 10. 10 or 11 aircraft carriers. 3 of them are active usually. 3 of them are, I don't know, reserve. No, 3 of them are active. 3 of them are under maintenance. And 3 of them are about to be maintenance. Something is 33% type of way. I don't know. So yeah.
Roosevelt just finished a maintenance availability. Fresh, ready, all systems green. USS Gerald R. Ford is the most advanced warship ever built, but she is currently locked in a standoff off the coast of Venezuela. But the Pentagon didn't send any of them. They sent Lincoln. Why? What crisis in the Middle East is worth abandoning the Pacific? What makes this specific carrier worth the strategic gamble? The answer comes down to 2 things: Iran and the F-35C. Because in January 2026, the Middle East isn't just tense, it is about to explode. And Washington needs a carrier that can execute a day-one strike to penetrate Iranian air defenses. Only Lincoln, with its future air wing, can do that. This is the story of the sprint.
What do you mean? Don't Ford class also have F-35Cs? What does Ford has? I'm pretty sure they have F-35Cs as well.
If you want to understand how American naval strategy actually works, type "proud" in the comments. Welcome to Navy Decoded. This is why they sent Lincoln. To understand why Lincoln, you have to look past the hull number and see the operational record. USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN 72, 5th ship of the Nimitz class. The motto stamped on every bulkhead, "Shall not perish." For 35 years, that hasn't been a slogan, it has been a promise.
Yeah, I was too stupid, or maybe a lot of people are that stupid. It's not just me. But like, I wasn't really versed in how military things work. And I'm like, wait a minute, you have Nimitz class aircraft carrier, which is literally the best in the world. But now you're making Ford class aircraft carrier, which is even better. And you're going to discontinue Nimitz one. I'm like, you have it. Why not just keep it? Now you're 20 aircraft carrier. Like it's a fucking car. No, keeping it means nothing. Maintenance and keep it operational takes money. What's the point of that? So that's why they're going to discontinue Nimitz class. But yeah, I was stupid enough to think like that, and I know a lot of people are like that. Like, why just keep it? Military things, even with the planes, jets, just keep it. Yeah, keeping it is nothing. Making it operational, keeping it operational is the problem.
295 consecutive days at sea. Let me say that again. 295 days. No port calls, no maintenance breaks, just sustained operations in 2020. China's carriers, 90 days maximum before they need to refuel and resupply. Russia's Kuznetsov hasn't left port in 3 years. Caught fire at the pier, still broken. Britain's Queen Elizabeth, 6-month deployments, standard. Lincoln did 10 months straight. And the crew didn't just survive.
6 months, all right. That's something. I know about 10 months, all right. Like, yeah, you're Americans, you can do 10 years. Like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. British doing 6 months, all right. That's something, right? I didn't know they had that good of aircraft carriers. Yeah, Americans can do it because, like, nuclear reactor and literally the best technology in the world. I'm pretty sure they can do more than 10 months if they really wanted to.
It. They maintained full operational tempo. Flight operations 24/7. Combat readiness at 100%. That is not endurance. That is dominance. But the ship operating today isn't the ship that launched in 1989. Between 2013 and 2017, the Navy invested $3 billion in a complete rebuild. They call it RCOH, refueling and complex overhaul. Picture this, 4 years in dry dock. Technicians cut the ship open. They pull the nuclear cores. They rip out every wire, every pipe, every outdated system. Then they rebuild it. New reactors, fiber optics where copper used to run, sensors that didn't exist when the ship was...
Yeah, as an engineer myself, yeah, as soon as I heard that, rip out every single wire, replace everything, there's a small level of chill that just went down my spine. Like, what the fuck? And this is an aircraft carrier, which makes it even more complex. Imagine the task. Replace all of it, like what?
Was designed. Most critical? Lincoln became the first Nimitz-class carrier modified specifically for the F-35C Lightning II. Not just compatible, optimized. Reinforced jet blast deflectors to handle the heat. Classified briefing rooms built right into the hull. Systems that let stealth fighters do things other platforms can't support. The ship that emerged wasn't a renovation, it was a transformation. 5th-generation capability inside a proven hull. And crucial for this 2026 mission? Combat proven. 18 months ago, the Lincoln was in the Red Sea.
Okay, wait a minute. What is the difference between C and the A? I mean, B is a different one. It has a propeller in the middle, so it can just take off vertically. That takes away a lot of fuel storage or something. Is C smaller than A, so it can fit aircraft carrier? That's the case, right? It's just, I don't know. I mean, it can't be just because of catapult. They can just, like, catapult doesn't take extra things. If you can do that with C, you can do that with A. I think C is slightly different. I forgot, it's been so long time. But yeah, C is for the aircraft carrier, basically. I'm pretty, isn't Ford class carrier made in a way that it can use F-35Cs? I don't know.
Iranian-backed Houthi forces launched anti-ship ballistic missiles at commercial vessels. Real missiles, real targets, real consequences. This crew shot them down. Multiple intercepts, under actual combat conditions. So when the orders came to sprint from the Pacific to the Persian Gulf, this wasn't theoretical. This was the crew that already knows what incoming fire looks like on an Aegis radar scope. 2 Westinghouse A4W nuclear reactors.
That was a weird statement he just made. USA does exercises all the time, and those exercises literally mean, oh, here comes the missiles, now stop it. Now whether it's real or fake, to these people it doesn't make difference. Because they do the literal same scenarios. They don't like, oh, put the gloves on. No, it's always gloves off. Even if it's like a training or real thing. They make it like a real thing, so they're not unprepared. So any American teams, doesn't matter, like they're always doing some kind of training and exercise. Literally simulating real things. So they might as well be doing real thing. So when real shit happens, they know what to do, right? So this is the reason, like, American readiness is really high.
Power the Lincoln. Unlimited range. The carrier covered 4,500 nautical miles in 8 days, without slowing for fuel. But speed is just the delivery method. The real weapon is parked on the flight deck. Carrier Air Wing 9,
I love that.
CVW-9. 75 aircraft. The centerpiece? Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 314, VMFA 314, Black Knights. 10 F-35C Lightning II stealth fighters. Most channels stop at the jet numbers.
Yeah, look at that shit. I don't know. I still like, look at this completely covered helmet. I love that. I know it's a thing, but I see it and it's like, you know when you know something, like seeing lightning in real time. You know what lightning is. You felt it. Every time you see it, you get giddy. This is what that is, right? You know that. You know everything about that. But every time you see it, like, damn, that's just awesome.
But here on Navy Decoded, we look at the kill chain. But in 2026, stealth isn't a magic cloak. Iran knows this. That is why they integrated the Resonance NE radar system into their air defense network. This is a very high frequency, VHF, over-the-horizon radar. Standard targeting radars operate on short wavelengths, X-band. Stealth aircraft are shaped to deflect those waves. The Resonance NE operates on metric wavelengths. Physics dictates that when a radio wave matches the physical dimensions of an aircraft's tail or wing, it creates resonance.
Yeah, but high frequency is precise. Metric wavelength, which is like longer wavelength, yeah, it can't be precise. I'm pretty sure this is the one they said like, oh, Iran's radar detected F-35. All right, bravo, but where? All right, now target it. Where is it? They can't pinpoint where the F-35 is. So what's the point of detecting it? It's just like, oh, monsters in the building. Where is it? We don't know. Okay, let's wait for it to attack. This is what that is.
In theory, this allows Iranian commanders to detect the presence of an F-35C from hundreds of miles away. So, on paper, the stealth advantage seems compromised. But detection is not the same as targeting. The Resonance NE can tell Tehran something is there. It provides azimuth and range, but it lacks the precision to guide a missile. To shoot, they need to hand off the target to high-frequency engagement radars.
That's the thing. For I don't know, it was last year or something. I don't know when that was. Like, time flies. But I watched a Sandbox video. Oh, Iran can detect F-35s. I'm like, what are you talking about? They can't target it.
Like the ones on the S-300. And that is the exact moment the U.S. Navy's kill chain activates. Enter Electronic Attack Squadron 133, VAQ-133, the Wizards. They fly the EA-18G Growler. For this specific deployment, they are fielding the ALQ-249 next-generation jammer. This isn't just noise barrage. This is a digital, directed energy attack. The ALQ-249 isolates the specific frequencies of the Resonance NE and the S-300 fire.
They did the same thing with Maduro, right? False target injection literally means radar thinks there are multiple things, which is not there. So even if anti-radar think like SAMs deploy something, they're shooting literal thin air. There's nothing there. This is when America developed this technology. This was some next level badassery. Because when it's in motion, then you feel it, like how badass this is. With Maduro, with this. This is literally the Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom, the game, right? There is literally a gadget that you can use and that creates multiple clone of the, Solid Snake. I don't even know what the fuck the name is, a multiple name of the guy. Big Boss, whatever. The guy gets confused. Which is the real one? This is that.
Control radars. It floods them with false targets and digital noise. Here is the operational reality. The Resonance NE detects a disturbance. It attempts to cue the S-300 fire control radar. The EA-18G Growlers jam the communication link and blind the fire control radar instantly. The Iranian operators are left with a low-resolution contact, but no firing solution. Meanwhile, the F-35Cs are passive. They don't emit radar. They use their sensors to triangulate the location of the Resonance NE based on its own emissions. The hunter becomes the prey. The F-35C pilots designate the coordinates. They can engage with standoff weapons, JSOW, or guide missiles from the destroyers. The Resonance NE is neutralized not by magic, but by superior electronic warfare integration. Once the radar network is degraded, the Super Hornets provide the strike mass. 3 squadrons: VFA-14, VFA-41, VFA-151. 36 aircraft carrying over 600,000 pounds of ordnance. They strike the static infrastructure, command centers, missile sites, and naval bases that are now blind. This is the concept of networked lethality. It is not about one plane being invisible. It is about the entire air wing dismantling the enemy's ability to complete a kill chain. And managing this entire operation from 300 miles away, E-2D Advanced Hawkeye. The ANAPY-9 radar tracks targets at 300 miles, manages over 1,000 contacts simultaneously. It is air traffic control for modern warfare.
Wait a minute, is this thing also flies from the aircraft carrier? Or is it just in the area? It can't fly from the aircraft carrier, right? It's too big. So I'm guessing this is probably in Iraq or somewhere close by. Or it's Indian Ocean, right? What is the island near India that US controls? I forgot the name. Garcia or some Diego Garcia, right? From there or something, they can launch it.
Coordinates 75 aircraft, directs combat air patrol, controls the entire air wing from one platform. This isn't air superiority. This is air dominance so complete, the adversary can't effectively contest it. But 75 aircraft mean nothing if the carrier gets sunk. That is where the defensive network comes in. 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers escort Lincoln. Together, they create a defensive bubble that makes Iranian anti-ship missiles tactically irrelevant. These ships carry nearly 300 vertical launch system cells,
And also a laser weapon.
VLS. Each cell holds a different missile depending on what the mission requires. For Middle East deployment, the loadout emphasizes 3 capabilities: Tomahawk cruise missiles, BGM-109, range exceeding 1,000 miles, launch from the Gulf
Yeah, Tomahawk missiles at this point is like AK-47, the default missile you think of. Which missile it is? Is it Tomahawk? Because that one I know of.
of Oman, hit command centers in Tehran. Precision guidance, minimal collateral damage. SM-3 ballistic missile interceptors, designed to shoot down Iranian missiles in mid-course phase, hitting a bullet with a bullet in space. SM-6 dual-role missiles, long-range air defense and anti-ship capability. Engage aircraft or target fast attack boats. The Aegis combat system ties everything together. All 3 destroyers share radar data in real time.
Wait a minute, isn't Aegis, Aegis, not Aegis? As in like, what was that? Aegis is something, right? I remember like hearing that in a video game as well. Aegis, that's what it means, I think.
They call it Cooperative Engagement Capability, CEC. One ship's radar can guide another ship's missile, creates overlapping coverage. 300 interceptors that can shoot from anywhere in the formation. Iran's
Yeah, I think US's biggest power in the modern time is networking. A entire net of network controlled by multiple devices. That is the ultimate power the US is creating. This is why like B-21s, F-35s, F-47s, they're all gonna be like controlled by each other and support each other, right? It's a whole network. Like one thing can control seamlessly without any lag. People think, why is that hard? Isn't that an easy thing to do? No, it's not. This is not like a smartphone app. You need to integrate it. It's a hard thing, but once you do it, America has done it. That's insane.
strategy relies on overwhelming American defenses. Launch hundreds of missiles, deploy dozens of fast attack boats, saturate the system through sheer numbers. Aegis was designed for this scenario. Here's what happens. Iranian coastal batteries launch 50 missiles, all at once, trying to overwhelm the defenses. 3 seconds after launch, the Aegis system classifies every threat, calculates trajectories, prioritizes based on speed and impact probability, assigns interceptors automatically. The destroyer
Okay, how much you wanna bet they're using AI for that shit? I bet they're using AI for that shit now. Like, let's use AI to like really create probabilities with like really high accuracy.
destroyers start firing. SM-3s climb, accelerate past Mach 4. At 100,000 feet, the kinetic warheads separate. They don't need explosives. Kinetic energy alone is enough. 40 Iranian missiles disappear from the scope. Intercepted, destroyed. 10 are still flying. Maybe, if the guidance systems work, if the Americans miss them. And the cost for launching that salvo? Every radar that turned on gets marked for destruction. Every launch site gets targeted. Every command bunker that gave the order gets erased. For 10 missiles that might penetrate the defense, Iran loses its entire coastal network in one night. That is not deterrence through threats. That is deterrence through math.
Okay, you need to be sure of your system so much in order for you to not put an explosive inside your missile. Because usually it's like proximity fuse type of thing. You put explosive in your missile and it gets the near area of where the target is supposed to be and it explodes. It will probably take out the target. But if you make something so accurate that you know your missile will hit the target, you don't need explosive, which is what they're doing.
Iranian planners understand the equation, and every day they choose to do nothing. January 18, 2026. The Strait of Malacca. One of the most monitored waterways on Earth. Lincoln enters the strait. Standard security procedures. Darkened ship. Minimal lighting. Reduced emissions. But you can't hide 97,000 tons of steel moving at 25 knots. Not in a strait where commercial traffic is bumper to bumper. An Iranian cargo vessel appeared. Ship name, Arvin. Course, Shanghai to Bandar Abbas. And it is matching the carrier's speed. Exactly. 2 miles off the starboard side. The watch officer reports it. Everyone on the bridge knows what is happening. That merchant ship is recording everything, photographing aircraft, timing the escort pattern. In 12 hours, this intelligence will be in Tehran. Revolutionary Guard commanders will have the complete picture. They'll know the air wing composition, the escort strength, the estimated arrival time. Pentagon's response? Nothing. No countermeasures, no intercept. This was deliberate. Because Iran needed to see what was coming. They needed their military planners to sit in a room, review the data, and do the math. 1 carrier, 3 destroyers, 75 aircraft. Nuclear-powered, combat-proven. Stealth fighters. The calculation writes itself. Deterrence isn't about secrecy. It is about demonstrating capability so overwhelming that escalation becomes pointless.
Yeah, it's flex. Just say it, man. It's flex. If you flex, whoa, what, son? Whoa, what you gonna do about it? Yeah, they'll probably back out, right? You don't want to come face to face and then back out. You look like a bitch. You want to create a scenario where you don't even come face to face and like just figure something out. That is deterrence, basically.
Iran saw everything, reported everything, and chose to do nothing. That is victory, without a shot fired. Strait of Hormuz, 21 miles wide. Geopolitically, this is the world's most critical choke point. 21 million barrels of oil pass through here daily. That is roughly 20% of global consumption. For decades, Iran has developed a strategy known as A2AD, Anti-Access Area Denial. The goal is simple. In the event of conflict, make this strait impassable. They have positioned thousands of ballistic and cruise missiles along the coast. They utilize swarms of fast attack boats for asymmetric warfare. They can deploy naval mines to freeze global shipping. This is a formidable, layered defense network designed to
Yeah, I don't get that. I really don't get that. You're gonna threaten world trade with USA, India, China, all the other European nations. Why the fuck they wouldn't just send all of their navy and fuck you up? Iran's not that powerful, right? You can't take on USA, let alone every other body combined. Same shit happened with like like the Egypt pass thing, where Houthis. Who was that? I forgot. Probably Houthis, who were like attacking civilian ships, as the video said, right? Everyone like like USA, a lot of NATO countries, even India was basically there attacking them. What you got from that? Like you're pissed off everyone. So that doesn't really work in the modern times. People are going to lose their shit. Like, really, you're going to attack the world trade now?
Impose unacceptable costs on any navy attempting to force entry. However, the deployment of the USS Abraham Lincoln fundamentally alters this strategic calculus. It shifts the dynamic from area denial to sea control. Why? Because the Lincoln Carrier Strike Group brings capabilities that specifically counter the A2AD doctrine. Iran's strategy relies on 2 things: concealment, hiding their launchers, and saturation, firing everything at once. The Lincoln's air wing dismantles both pillars. First, countering concealment. The F-35C Lightning II is not just a striker, it is an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance ISR platform. Operating inside the contested airspace, these stealth aircraft can detect and map mobile missile batteries and coastal radar sites without being tracked. They deny Iran the element of surprise. If Tehran prepares to launch, the US Navy likely knows the grid coordinates before the first missile fires. Second, countering saturation. The strike group provides a deep strike option. In a hypothetical escalation, American commanders do not need to wait for Iran to close the strait. With the data from F-35Cs and E-2D Hawkeyes, the Super Hornets can execute precision strikes against the source of the threat, the command nodes and launch sites inland, rather than just intercepting missiles over the water. This creates a strategic dilemma for Tehran. If they attempt to close the Hormuz Strait, they reveal the location of their most valuable strategic assets. Once those assets engage, they become visible. Once they are visible,
Yeah, this is literally like Tombstone movie, right? Where is a say when. This is what that is. America saying say when. Show your cars. Okay, I'm ready.
the Lincoln's air wing can neutralize them. The cost of closing the strait for a few days could be the permanent degradation of their entire coastal defense infrastructure. This is the definition of deterrence by denial. It convinces the adversary that their objective is unachievable, or that the cost exceeds any potential gain. The Lincoln is not there to start a war. It is there to prove that a war cannot be won by closing the strait. It forces Iranian planners to look at the math. They retain the capability to disrupt shipping, yes, but they lack the capability to survive the counterstrike that follows. So the oil continues to flow, not because the threat has vanished, but because the counterweight, sitting just over the horizon, is heavy enough to keep the scale balanced. 21 million barrels a day, guaranteed not by treaties, but by operational capacity. So, why Lincoln? Why did the Pentagon choose this specific hull, this specific crew, to answer the call? It wasn't random. It was a calculation based on trust. When the stability of the global economy hangs by a thread, you don't send a trainee. You don't send a ship that might be ready. You send the veteran.
Yeah, you send Abe Lincoln with his hat. Yeah.
The Navy looked at the board and saw only one option. The only carrier that combines the eyes of the Marine F-35C stealth squadrons with the fist of a crew that has already shot down hostile missiles in the Red Sea. They chose the ship that spent 4 years and $3 billion being rebuilt for this exact moment. A ship that has proven it can stay at sea for 295 days without breaking. Lincoln wasn't just available, she was engineered for this threat. Her motto,
Imagine the guy who's leading the entire command basically talks to Iranian leader like 4 years and $3 billion. We're ready for this. We just need an excuse. And Iran's like, yeah, we're not doing that. He's too ready for this. We're not doing that. Yeah, he basically wants us to do something.
is "shall not perish." For 35 years, that phrase has been written on the hull. But today, in the Persian Gulf, it means something more. It means the global supply chain shall not perish. It means freedom of navigation shall not perish. The next time you fill up your car or see a flight take off, remember why that is possible. It is not luck. It is because 5,000 Americans, all volunteers, are standing watch on 4.5 acres of sovereign territory halfway across the world. They are operating the most complex machine ever built in the most dangerous waters on Earth so that you can sleep soundly tonight. That is the American guarantee. Presence is the deterrent. Capability is the proof. And the USS Abraham Lincoln is the reason the line holds.
Yeah. And there's an American woman chomping down on fucking chips, saying all the American soldiers can basically delete themselves. Yeah, while fueling up her car, doing nothing, doing like Twitch, and making enough money to do everything, basically affording a car and shit. But yeah. You know what? I'm not even American. That pisses me off. Like, really, you're gonna say that shit about soldiers? I still remember that. I watched a video from S1 channel long ago. Kind of pissed me off. Like, what the fuck kind of person says that? You're living in the country, you're saying that shit about your own soldiers? What is wrong with you? But yeah, this is like Abe Lincoln. I didn't know about this. Abraham Lincoln, like, the aircraft carrier is badass with the F-35Cs and everything. I mean, I understand why they deployed it there, right? They probably shifted it for a while and they bring it back. Yeah, because Middle East is something you need this there, right? I'm pretty sure this was the one that was involved when Iran launched a lot of ballistic missiles over Israel, and 99.9% were intercepted. Probably this was involved with the Aegis system. Right, well, if you like my reason, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.